In today's video, I want to talk about why it seems like the law of attraction isn't working for you.
Hi, I'm Crystal Irom, and I'm one of the top love, dating, and manifestation coaches for smart, successful women like you. I share content on understanding men in the masculine, dating as a high-value woman, and manifesting love, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you don't miss anything.
I love talking about manifestation and the law of attraction and how you can really use it in your own life. And one of the most common complaints that I hear is that it's just not working for me. I can't get it to work for me. And this is frustrating, right? Where it's like you hear about this thing, you believe that it could work, you've seen how it works for other people, but for some reason, just not for you. So let's talk about why that could be or why it seems that way. So, the first thing that I think of when someone says it's just not working for me is that if you're saying it's not working for me, it's because you're not really manifesting. When we talk about manifestation, what it really means is that you are taking your attention and your focus off of your circumstances and you are putting them on the things that you desire, what you want to create, and you're holding that focus and attention long enough for those experiences to become your reality. Another way that you can think of this is thinking of manifestation sort of like a continuum. And your reality or your circumstances, the situation that you're currently in, is like the densest part of your manifestation. So when you first decide to manifest something, it's just like an idea you have where you're like, I want this thing. And that's sort of like the most fluid or open, sort of like airy part of your manifestation because you've just thought of it. It's like something as if it's just sort of floating around in the ether, right? It doesn't have substance yet. It's just a thought you've had. And as you start to think about it more and more, as you start focusing on it, it's as if it becomes denser, right? And then as you focus on it more and you believe in it more and you become more and more certain that that actually will be your reality or it is your reality, that's when it actually does become your reality, right? So it's like it goes from being this completely open, airy thing to being something that feels completely real because you can see it in front of you. When someone is saying, it's not working for me, what they're really saying is, I'm looking around in my circumstances and they haven't changed yet. But the way that you know that you're not really manifesting in that case is that you're focusing on your circumstances. If you knew with 100% certainty that it was working, that you would have the thing that you want, if you fully had your attention and your focus on the thing that you desire to create, you would never say it's not working because you would be so focused on what you're desiring, what you want to create. So the fact that you're even saying that just shows where your attention is. And it's like most people do that, right? Their attention and energy is oscillating between their circumstances and what they want. So they're like, okay, I'm going to manifest. I'm going to really focus here on what I desire to create. And so they put their focus there. But as soon as they don't see as much evidence as they want, or there's some sort of hiccup, they put their focus back onto their circumstances. If you truly are going to use the law of attraction, if you're actually going to manifest something, what it means is that you have to hold your focus and your attention for longer than seems comfortable, for longer than you want in some cases. It's almost like you're trying to play a trick on your own mind, where it's like you're just ignoring the things that are happening that you don't want to see. And I don't mean this in the way of denial. I mean this in the way that like you get to decide where you put your focus and your energy. We often feel like we are victims of our own feelings or of our own thoughts, but it's not the case. The thing that you get to remember is that your thoughts aren't even you, right? Like this is the starting point. Your thoughts aren't even you. And the reason that you know this is because if you take a second and you tell yourself, stop thinking, you'll notice that thoughts come up. But you're not the thoughts. You're the observer of the thoughts. So these thoughts are coming up, and thoughts do sometimes come up, right? Where it's like, I don't even know where that came from. And that's fine. That's totally normal. That's the way that humans operate. You may not have control over that every single moment. But what you do have control over is how you decide to focus. So a thought can pop up but then you choose whether to focus on that thought or to focus on something else, right? It's like a thought can come up and you can just allow it to sort of gently pass by and move on without making it into a big deal or making it into a thing or really allowing it to spiral. What happens is that like a thought pops up, which you may not really have had any conscious control over, but then you make a conscious choice to dwell on that, to focus on that, to give it more and more energy. And so then those thoughts expand, right? You get to recognize that anything can pop up, but I don't have to believe it. I don't have to give it further energy. Here's the reason that all of this is relevant. Our feelings don't come from nowhere. Our feelings come from our thoughts. Okay, so some circumstance happens, something happens, and then you have a thought about it. And then based on the thoughts that you have, or the stories you start to tell, it's going to create a feeling within you. This is really important to know and to remember and to understand, because this means you always get to have control over your feelings. Because as thoughts pop up, you get to choose how you're going to focus on them. So for example, a thought could come up like, I'm never going to get the love that I want. That might seem true to you in a moment, but you have to remember that just because you thought it does not mean it's true. It does not mean that it's real. And you get to make a choice about what you're going to focus on from there, right? So that thought can pop up. And if you're really consciously manifesting, if you're really focusing on creating what you want, instead of being like, oh, okay, I had this thought, so that must mean it's real, you can say, well, that's not true. Of course I can have love. I see all these other people having love. Why not me? Right? It's a choice that you get to make. Is this what I'm going to focus on or not? And they're going to feel really different, right? Like if I'm thinking to myself, this thought pops up, I might never get love. That doesn't feel good. When I think that thought, I feel sad. I feel heavy. I feel frustrated, right? And then I'm going to sort of go back and forth. Now I feel this way. And I'm going to think more thoughts that sort of continue making me feel more and more that way. Or that thought can pop up and I can say, that's interesting, but that's not me and that's not true. What's actually true is that of course I can have love. My person is here, I just don't see him yet. I have so many opportunities to meet amazing, amazing people. And then when I think of that, I can feel hopeful and I can feel excited and I can feel really calm and peaceful, right? Or I can really go hard on the manifesting. And I'm not just thinking I could meet someone. I could think I have epic love. I have met the most amazing person I've ever known. I didn't even know a relationship could feel this good. I'm so excited to see how things continue to unfold for us. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I love the way things are going. And that's really manifesting, right? Where it's like you've taken your focus entirely off of the circumstances, entirely off of the situation you're currently having, and you are focusing on what you desire to create. You are purely focusing on your vision, right? You're putting your energy back into your vision, and you're allowing that to create the feelings inside you. So that's the much more powerful thing to do. That is the powerful approach, is to actually think about what you want to create. So when you're saying, my manifesting isn't working for me, you want to ask, am I truly manifesting? Or do I just keep looking at my circumstances, realizing they're not what I'm wanting, and feeling defeated and frustrated and sad, and then leaving it at that, and then saying manifesting isn't working? It's not enough to just like slap up a vision board and call it a day. That is not manifesting. A vision board is a tool that you can use. It can be a really helpful, fun, powerful tool. But the real work of manifesting is the energy that you're putting towards your desires, towards what you want to create. It's the work that you put in around your own thoughts, around focusing on what you actually want to experience, rather than focusing just on what is. So if you're saying that manifesting isn't really working for you, that's the first thing you're going to really think about, really give your time and energy to, is how much am I holding the energy of what I want? So I hope this video really served you well. And if you want to know my whole 4-step process for manifesting love, I invite you to join me for a free training. You can go to magnetismformula.com. I'll also link it here. I go through my whole signature process. It's a really great training, and I definitely don't want you to miss out. So go ahead and join that. It's linked below, and I will see you in the next video.